Hello guys, so first off a warm welcome to any old subscribers and any new visitors. So today's video is just going to be about motivation behind designing. So let's first off change to black and then put motivation. Ooh, this is the wrong brush. There we go. So motivation, nope, I want to change the type. There we go. And decrease the size. Hold on, give me 1 second. Because usually I like finding a multiple of 7. There we go. Okay, so motivation. Is this slow? Let's see. Yeah, it's slow. Motivation behind design. So I'm using my tablet today and it's much easier than my laptop. So let's just go ahead and change the color to purple and begin. So the first kind of motivation behind, designing or in general is, it's going to be a passion, or you could put personal passion or maybe creative. No, I think personal is much better. Personal. So obviously that comes to, as your own personal journey whereby you're not really dictating so strictly how much progress you're going to make by this certain day. It's more of, lax, if you will, relaxed and at your own pace. So I'll put at one's pace, or pace, there we go. So I think for me, it's part of this, my design journey is but an aspect of the reason or motivation for it is, personal, for personal reasons, personal passions, from since like high school, I've been drawing like line art, which is on paper, pencil and paper, traditional line art, before eventually coming to, getting a tablet and then doing it digitally. And it's been a while since, that kind of adaptation, since like, I believe like last year. And it's been interesting, the journey has been beautiful. I like that I still have the strong sense of motivation to keep going, keep at it every day. And I think this kind of motivation is one of my favorites, and it's the first one too, because pretty much it feels like a root of even why doing anything in the first place. If it's personal, it's like a personal passion. It's pretty much guaranteed that, like, obviously there's discipline. That's, you have to be consistent every day. But once it classifies as personal passion, then it's very advantageous. So number 2 is going to be career development. Now this is also part of the motivation, but not really major focus. I more of prioritize like personal, whereas than career development, because I didn't exactly start off taking a media major since like starting college. My former major was in STEM, so I'll put STEM in red or something. Like STEM, my former major was like in STEM, and I put like old, like STEM, like science, math, and engineering. I was general studies too. So eventually I'll be honest with my stuff and then just come back to design. And honestly, you can apply the principles of math, some of science, maybe some of engineering, and the diagrams and everything, and just apply it to pretty much designing. And that's what I noticed too. But it's easier said than done, and it's been a while, but it's very rewarding to sort of apply all that knowledge back into design. So number 3 is financial reason or stability. But this one we have to be careful, because in my other video when I was mentioning or talking about freelancing, I don't really prioritize that aspect to handle the bills, because one, if you're not at a certain level already, or it's like not really established or not really stable, it can become like very draining. And so you want to be careful with this number 3, because like, let's say you are relying on Fiverr and you're relying on that kind of traffic, slow traffic, to like pay your rent. there's no guarantee that it's going to be constantly coming in. Whereas, you have a regular 9 to 5, or maybe a part-time, decent part-time, and then supplement that with the art, or let me write that down, like full-time, and then still supplement some art time, or part-time, and still supplement it with the art time. Now this would be me. And yeah, be honest with yourself. Be honest with what's going on. Don't lie to yourself about, what's not going on. Just say it's not growing as much as I believe it should have been to be. And I'm going to make some healthy changes. I'm going to prioritize getting a part-time that's as best as possible related to design, maybe marketing, maybe like just balance it. You don't want to put yourself in a situation whereby it's not a very good environment, and it's causing you to like do it out of survival, and that's not a good feeling. You don't want to do this out of survival at all, and this can literally stop, or drain this, and you do not want that at all. So yeah, and then number 4, you can say you want to make an impact. Like, let's say for example, let's say a nonprofit. Maybe you design your, hold on, let me change the color. You design their, let's say, packages, and depending on how well you do this, the mantra, the design, everything, it all adds up. And so you sort of create a story, or tell a story for that nonprofit, and then further justify or further expand on their impact, on their reach, or on their traffic. I like calling it traffic. It just means, for me, when I say traffic, I just mean more eyes on paper, more eyes on this direction, or more cars going this way, if you will. So yeah, and then another motivation can be, let me make a new layer. Let me drag this out of the way. Thank you. New layer. Let me go ahead and rewrite the motivation. Motivation. Perfect. And yeah, so maybe you want to support growth for, let me change that to purple. Sorry about that. Maybe you want to 5. You want to support growth for maybe something like a local business. Okay. And then local business, obviously they're gonna want a strong CTA, because if you're local, you want that local traffic. So obviously it's gonna be a strong CTA. So you're gonna have to get that, and then relate to the people too. They have to care for it. They have to care for the cause. And this one, it feels very, it's a term for it, cost effective solution. Like, it's very like A plus B equals C. It's that kind of thing, because it's local. I mean, you should know what they care for, you should know how to relate to them, and you should know what kind of CTA or call to action that's going to drive that kind of traffic towards you. So yeah, the number 6 is going to be innovation and problem solving. This one can feel a bit too general, but I guess if you're trying to solve a long-term or lingering issue that's kind of like global, yes, in a sense, maybe you want to, how do I best think of it? Because you're trying to problem solve. Maybe, because let's say Airbnb, right? Airbnb is global. Let me change pink. Airbnb is global, and they want to like make changes to your logo, and they want it to like be more, I guess, green friendly, and maybe there was like some climate issue, like maybe social issue, like something like that, and then maybe they want the colors to align with that, and then that sort of solves the problem that, you know, Airbnb is a little bit more nature friendly in a sense. I know this is not a great example, but I'm just trying to think outside the box. But yeah. And then the final is going to be number 7. See if number 7 can fit here, which is pretty much just recognition or even like legacy. And you know, that's how, I mean, with this section, that's how you get like well recognized artists. Now I cannot name some off the back of my head, but you know, if you have a certain kind of style of drawing or certain kind of like technique, unique technique. Let me go ahead and decrease the. There we go. Unique technique. So much so it pretty much I don't know. I guess it varies what kind of impact it has, but if it's a unique technique that pretty much like solves a concern or issue, that's kind of huge. Whether it's, you know, concurrent or reoccurring, history wise, you know. Now I cannot name any easy examples, but I believe this is what this will be covered under this kind of motivation. So yeah, so that pretty much just solves, you know, the motivation behind designing. You know, it's kind of like a nice video, which is my number 5 for kind of like the general tutorial videos for designing. And hope you enjoyed it and have a fantastic day.